Good morning, Unity. How is everyone? Today is Sunday, March 9th. We're almost to the official day of spring. I can't wait. Anyway, we have, I'm going to introduce our band, which you already know. Ed Limmers on bass, Roy King on the drums, and Eddie Gordon on the piano. But we have a new sound guy. That's Ian Douglas back there at the booth. So welcome to Ian. So we're going to get started today with a song by Daniel Nahmod called God You Are. And if you are able, I would like for you to stand. And we're going to do this with gusto. Do we have a screen with anything? Oh, there it is.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.
God, you are every mountain. God, you are every ocean. God, you are every canyon, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every morning. God, you are every midnight. God, you are every moment, every second of my life. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. Sunrise, God, you are every sunrise. God, you are every moon glow. God, you are every star shine, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every springtime. God, you are every snowfall. God, you are every season, every second of my life. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. 'Cause you are the very breath I breathe. And your perfect love created me. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. You. Thank you.
Good morning, Renaissance Unity. Good morning. So you remembered. Some of you did, some of you didn't, but you made it anyhow, right? Yeah, so glad to have you here this morning. I welcome you to Renaissance Unity, and thank you for being with us today. Those of you here in person and those of you who have joined online, we do welcome you. And you know, every week we say that here at Renaissance Unity, and we'll say it again this morning, that unity is a positive, practical, progressive approach to spirituality. Would you agree with that? Yes, yes. It's what attracted us, much of us, right? Yes. You know, our teachings we also share each week are based on the teachings of Jesus and the power of prayer. And we also share every week that no matter where you are in your journey, we honor all the universal truths and all the religions. So we do welcome you here this morning. This morning we are going to have a little different service, okay? So our guest speaker, who is Michelle Tyson, who has spoken with us before, will be joining us from her home in Woodland, Texas. And so I'll be introducing her after the daily word, but it'll be a little bit different. So, and their meditation is actually going to come after her talk as well. So, okay? Well, let's just affirm that first principle that we honor here at Renaissance Unity in the Unity Movement. Together, there is only one presence and one power in our lives and in the universe, God the good, omnipotence. Now let's sing that.
There is only one presence and one power in my life and in the universe. God the good, God the good, God the good, omnipotence.
And now join me as we affirm together our mission statement. Together? All right, dynamic fellowship centered in the active spiritual practice of love, truth, gratitude, and service to others. Okay, now affirm with me our mission statement. Together, transforming lives through a consciousness of love. And now you can just sit and be with it as I read our vision statement. How about that? All right, let's do it. So just take that deep breath and just imagine this together with me. Just bring the feeling of this together with me. Our vision is an inclusive world where minds, hearts, and hands are connected and raising the global consciousness of love. So I'd like to now invite our prayer chaplain forward, Kim Klein, to read our daily word.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Okay. So we are grateful for the floral arrangements that are behind me. Okay. And they were donated and they were prepared by Elaine this morning. No? My note says Elaine, I promise. Who did? You? So Judy. Everyone, Judy. Okay. Oh, I love it. So donated to represent the varied beauty and the power of Mother Nature. Thank you, Judy. Okay. So we want to now move our attention to the prayer box. And this is on the table by our Christ candle. We affirm that every request will find its answer in perfect order. These prayers are sent to Unity Prayer Ministry each month, where they are then prayed over for 30 days. We are grateful, and we know that all is well. Okay. All right. Awakening from sleep, I pause for a moment to feel the energy of a new day. Birds outside my window sing a greeting. My still closed eyelids sense the morning light. Letting go of the delicious relaxation of sleep, I stretch my limbs, open my eyes, and rise from my bed. Awake, fully present in my mind, my body, and soul to each activity of the day and to all the people that I meet. I feel truly connected. I engage fully with my daily work, my study, prayer, and recreation. I notice details in my surroundings and see expressions of love and kindness I may have overlooked. Each moment becomes more vivid and meaningful. Nothing feels ordinary when I am awake. My life is a journey of a discovery and appreciation. From Scripture, and what I say to you, I say to all, keep awake. Mark 13:37.
Thank you, Kim. You know, there's when you listen to something like that, there's always something unique that jumps out at you, or at least I find that's true. And for me this morning, it was stay engaged in life. Yeah, yeah. So I mentioned at the beginning that the service was going to be a little bit different, and that we are having back with us this morning Michelle Tyson. You know, after she spoke last winter, I stayed in touch with her, and the thing I learned about Michelle is she can articulate the awakening process about as well as anyone I know. And so while I was having a conversation with her, we were speaking about divine neutrality, and she really articulated how when we get caught in our emotions, you know, we go out of the center and we just cut ourselves off from our higher consciousness and our higher self when we're in that. And as I listened to her, I said, wow, that is such a powerful message for us, because I think we're all called to live more and more and more from our higher self, and just to continue that journey. So this morning, if you just welcome together with me Michelle Tyson from Woodland, Texas. Just give a warm welcome.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? Good morning. And um, it's so nice to be here with everybody today. I spoke with you guys a few months ago, and I'm so happy to be back. And my name is Michelle. I'm with the New Humanity Foundation, New Humanity Divine Marga. And, um, and so we're an organization of God realization, soul liberation, and divine living. And I have a background with Unity. When I lived in the Houston area, I'm kind of way north of Houston, Texas. I went to a Unity church for years, and I absolutely loved it. It was a fantastic experience, and it's always kind of remained close to my heart. And so one thing we're going to talk about is kind of moving into that higher vibrational living that so many of you are already very interested in, and already are doing, the fourth dimensional and then the fifth dimensional consciousness. I'm going to share my screen just a moment to just briefly look at the chart that I know that David has shown you guys before, and just to kind of as a little illustration to start our talk before we move into that and into our topic of divine neutrality, and using that as a tool to kind of move into these higher vibrational spaces. So I'm going to share this. And so this is, just the web page of Divine Marga, New Humanity Divine Marga. And I think that, and this is Sat Mendo and Leon, who are the founders of New Humanity Divine Marga. And I think that you guys have seen this in several of the sermons. I know I showed this, but this is the chart that we use to kind of illustrate what the awakening is, and what this becoming the new human that David has been speaking of for some time. And this chart just kind of shows us what that is, and it's not necessarily a going upwards as this chart shows. It's an illustration. You can actually say that higher consciousness and spiritual development is more of an opening, kind of an opening of awareness, an expansion and opening. In this illustration, it kind of looks vertical, not exactly that way. But when we look at the bottom of it, we see kind of those lower energies, and by the time someone has a genuine spiritual interest, their natural development as a human, they're kind of not down there. It's just, there's still some of that emotional content though. No matter how high we go and open we go, we're still sometimes working off, anxiety, feelings of loss or abandonment, sure. But generally people will find themselves here and then moving into this fifth dimension of the new humanity, kind of like heaven on earth, even while living in our physical realm, in this physical body. And so that is kind of what we're aiming towards. It's quite realistic and doable, but it does require some tools and some assistance in helping ourselves kind of get into that space and keep it maintained. It is that connection to the higher self, a steady, constant, nonstop connection to the higher self that we see as we get into this area that's shown as blue on here. And so what we're going to talk about today is not only the divine neutrality, but a little bit about our third dimensional reality and how we're moving into that space of the new human, the fourth dimension, the fifth dimension. And so many of us are already stepping into it. If you're at Unity and you have an interest in God realization, well then already, you've got at least 1 foot, if not more, in that space already. And we're just looking for tools to continue to dissolve what no longer serves us, what keeps us from kind of progressing in this spiritual evolvement and evolution. And so one thing we focus on with students is that awakening into what we call the inner light, which is the fourth dimensional reality, which is that connection to the higher self that becomes permanent. And then that kind of allows us then to move into the fifth dimensional consciousness. It is a widening of the vibrational experience, the vibrational living. And it can be experienced by many as heaven on earth. And in that we have what we call that new humanity, we call the unity consciousness. That's fully, firmly in that fifth dimensional. And this is why I like Unity Church, because everybody is already talking about that anyway. It's already kind of your wavelength and what your interest is. And so with this, we like to talk a little bit, like I was looking at one of David's sermons recently, and he was talking about the individual and how much potential each individual has, as well as the complete uniqueness. And that's true. And it was kind of occurring to me as I was listening about our collective, which, as we know, is made of the individuals. And as we evolve and as we develop our own consciousness, this is very strongly reflected in this collective. Because we're social, we tend to focus very heavily on this collective and feel like we're part of certain groups. This is our tribe, or this is our family, or these are the people that we're closely associated with. And this is just what we all do. It's totally normal. But the evolutionary process is still individual. It's a completely personal awakening. The inner light awakening can be strengthened by who we hang around with. We know the term, who you spend time with is who you become like, and that's true. And even vibrationally, we can be boosted, by who we are spending time with and the spiritual community. But still, the awakening is personal. There's just no way around it. And we know that we've met many people who don't have an interest in spiritual matters. They're not interested in any type of evolving in that way. This is fine. I mean, everybody has the right, and it is really a soul choice of what we're doing in that way, of how we're evolving and changing. But as we do change, it does affect the collective, and we notice major changes in the collective. So it's good to know that we make a difference. You know, individually we make a difference, and the way we do it might not be exactly the same. We look for certain tools, and I'm going to talk a little bit about one today, but we always tend to find our favorite tools and what helps us the most. I don't know if anybody here has noticed it, but as this collective, which is made of us as individuals, who more and more people are stepping into, you know, higher vibrational experience, it can be very tumultuous, very disruptive. I don't know why that is, but it does. I'm sure we've all noticed it. It does seem to cause quite a bit of disruption and chaos. And it's not just right now, it's kind of been going on for a number of years. And this is something, unfortunately, that pulls us out of our center. And I know it does for me. It seems to do it for a lot of people. Um, but one thing that I've noticed, and I've noticed as I watch people in our spiritual community, I've noticed it in myself, is that these things can't stop the personal evolution. If that's what a person wants, if that's how they're geared, the personal evolution can't stop. And in some instances, big disruptions can push us forward because it can bring strong emotions to the surface, and now we have something to work with. So I've heard the saying before, when God takes one, or when you take one step to God, God takes 10 steps to you. And that always does seem to be true. And sometimes it's just for me, and again, for what I've learned in the community of New Humanity, is it's always just a realigning with God. It's making that intention to be aligned with God's will, and to keep in mind, you know, what is my highest calling, and that my highest calling, even while living life and having to do all the regular things, is this coming closer to God, or you could say the source consciousness from where I came, and and that's something that everybody's capable of, and no matter what's going on in the world. So even as things get a bit chaotic, as I catch the news on my phone everywhere I go, I just try to keep it in mind. And it's nice to know that that evolution can't be stopped. It really can't be stopped for a person who's committed to raising their vibration. Nothing going on in the world or in our family or our jobs or anything at all can stop it. What we focus on does become our vibration. So when we learn how to more and more dissipate some of the heavier energies and focus on some higher vibrational feelings and thought patterns, such as just cultivating a subtle happiness, contentment, joy in life, we just attract more of that to us. We attract more. And again, the world can't stop us from doing that. There's nothing that can stop us from doing that. And these high vibrational feelings just attract a higher vibration to them more and more. One thing about this reality we're in is this physical and emotional domain, that what we could call the third dimensional life. This third dimensional life is something we're bound to by strong emotions, strong attachments, a lot of emotional content that we gather over the years. We pick it up from our parents and our community, to the degree that some of our emotional content might not even be ours. It can be what came from our parents, our grandparents, and a strong ideology in our community, strong emotions that we experienced, and just in our surroundings that we sort of absorb and pick up. They might not even be ours, but they sort of become ours, and we just continue on with that. We continue to have these strong feelings that just bind us very, very intensely into this world, so that even as we're looking for evolution and a higher vibration, we can feel kind of pulled down by that. I know that I have, and even as one continues to grow in
and develop, you notice that the pull is always very strong. It's always very strong to this world. And it is sort of the challenge to kind of rise out of it, even while taking care of what we need to take care of. So as we're bound to this, we're bound to different physical, mental, and emotional forms. Obviously, to different physical forms and people and objects, but also it's to the ideas and intellectualizations. We tend to be an educated society. That's great. We often need certain education for our jobs, but it can pull us very strongly into the mind. And the mind is necessary. It's good. It's great, but it's not really where God resides. Um, and then the emotions also are very, very strong for us. And this is also great, but the emotions are tools. They aren't really us. The thoughts are forms and the emotions are forms, but they're not our essence. They're not us. They're just something we're carrying around. So the extreme um, uh, connection to those, or the feeling that they are really what we are, is kind of what keeps people bound and having a harder time awakening. And so, and when we were looking at that chart, the more somebody is really always at a lower level of consciousness, that is the most bound state, where all of that feels very, very, very real, and matters of a higher spiritual matter don't seem real. But when we ask for God's help, we know from our own experience that it comes, and that begins to lighten that up a little bit, because we have an interest in being closer to God. We wouldn't even be in this room if we didn't, and we wouldn't have our interest in, a unity consciousness if we didn't. But the world keeps pulling us back. It keeps pulling us back into that. And so, what do we do about it? How do we come back to center? And how do we align ourselves with our true calling, with our true self, with God, which we can also call the source consciousness? And one of the tools that I like to use is something that I could call um, divine neutrality, uh, because it helps us as we move towards our intuition. To move to this higher awareness, we have to move more into our intuition rather than so strongly with the intellect and emotions. And that intuition is the bridge. And it is the bridge from the kind of the lower states into the higher dimensional reality. And it requires a certain slowing down of the mind, a certain slowing down of our energies, and even the barrage of emotional content that kind of rises from us so much. It's hard and doable. And so we have to have that healthy relationship with our emotions that allows us to step back a little bit, to step outside of ourselves. And that is the divine neutrality. When we look at those very low, kind of dense, I think dense is an apt word for it, those dense, heavy states of consciousness where many people actually truly reside, um, there's not really the ability to be neutral, to be the watcher of the emotions, because the emotions and the thoughts are quite dense, heavy, and it's all there is. It's all the reality is. But what God is looking for is gaps. God is looking for the gaps in our thoughts and the gaps in the emotional content. And with that, God is able to kind of move in and shine the light. So, early on, when a person hasn't begun to allow light in, they might be kind of like a heavy, ball of wax. Nothing's going to penetrate through, a ball of yarn, something like that, where you can see. But it begins to unravel a bit, and you begin to see spaces, come where there's gaps and where light can come in. That is what we're looking for. And so we're always looking to make a space, create spaces in our thoughts and in our emotions, despite the tumultuousness and maybe disruptiveness in our personal life, and that we see politically and just in life in general. And this helps us move into what we're calling, and what you guys have had a number of sermons on, is the new human. And so, in doing that, we get to experience eventually sort of this heaven on earth, that we can maintain a certain equilibrium and take appropriate actions, even if things don't seem so smooth of what's going on, and out of the outer environment. Um, this divine neutrality is practicing a healthy and gentle separation. It's sort of an accepting life as it is, and trusting in that divine plan without a judgment, kind of just aligning with that higher source, finding God's peace. And this actually can happen even while taking actions. We can still take actions when it's appropriate, but sometimes there's not much to do in a certain situation that we don't like. And in that instance, sometimes that practicing of neutrality and letting go of needing to make a fix or a change in the moment, allowing things to be as they are, at least at that time, at that moment, begins to create those gaps and those openings. And I think we've all experienced it. And, finding times where we've just realized that I'm not going to be able to change this situation. It can even just be in our family. Like, there's not much I can do in a job at the moment. There's not a lot I can do. But a lot of times, when we soften our expectations of what has to happen in the moment, it sort of dissolves a lot of the tension that we're holding, and that allows a healing of certain emotional content and that space that we're looking for. And then the intuition pours into us more strongly, and often then allows us to know, well, what action would be the right action that's aligned with my highest calling, me as an individual. And then maybe also with the collective or certain groups that we might be associated with. And so that is kind of what we're going to talk about today, is becoming the watcher, watching, and the emotional triggers, and trying to handle those emotional triggers as they come so fast and so furious often. And this can happen even as we evolve. The emotional triggers can come so strongly. And so it's kind of a constant practice to look at, how can we separate ourselves? How can we have a healthy emotional distance that still knows how to act appropriately, but where we can kind of step out of it and, maintain some equilibrium. And so I'd like to do a little meditation, and also just a transmission following for the inner light awakening. And it is just to kind of help us. It's just another tool. It's something we can practice every day, but practicing in a group can be wonderful, because the group energy can be so helpful. Having that common intention, to kind of neutralize, learning about neutralizing and practicing it together, and then also making that intention to connect with the higher self, and making it to be a permanent connection. That is a permanent openness and awareness to pour in intuition into a greater and greater gap. So at this time, I'd like just to start the meditation, and what we can do is just kind of settle into your chair, just kind of settle into your space, and close your eyes, and kind of get comfortable with where you are, and feet flat on the floor is good. Kind of settling our arms where they're comfortable. A lot of times I like to take one deep breath, and as I let it go, to drop my shoulders, to drop the shoulders with that breath out, and kind of notice that you can settle in a bit more. You can kind of settle into your body a bit more. And take another breath, and you breathe out, and just kind of drop the shoulders, and feel that expansion of the breath going in, goes into your lungs, and then it goes into the belly. And notice kind of the space that arises. And breathe in and breathe out. And notice how all of the emotions start to slow down. The mind can start to slow down at this time. And kind of that energetic movement slows down and slow everything down. Take another breath in and breath out. And notice that space that becomes available around your breath and around the lungs and around the belly. And there's more space in your chest. And we're just creating a space, kind of an inner calmness. And we can call this the beginnings of neutrality. And continue feeling this space around your breath until you feel that greater sense of calm and peacefulness. And at this time, you might notice certain emotions that might have a density, and you certainly may notice thoughts wanting to continue to arise, which is natural. And at this time, we'll practice being on a riverbank, and those thoughts and emotions, and especially the thoughts, are like a river. And you can visualize that those thoughts are like a river that flows from the left to the right. And you're not in them, you're on the banks of the river. You're not wet in the water, you're standing outside of it. And those thoughts in the mind is like a river flowing from the left to the right. And you're not the river. You're standing on the shore and you're observing the mind, the thoughts, as a river in front of you. And the key is not to get wet. The second key is to always remember to step out of the river if you find yourself having gone into it, to step out of the river and simply observe the thoughts and the mind in front of you. This is being the watcher, and as subtle as this is what actually allows us to create these gaps in the thinking and emotions as you watch the thoughts flow from the left to the right. And even if the gap is 1 or 2 seconds, and that's all that God needs to kind of open up and strengthen the intuition. As we do our inner light meditation, I'd like to offer this meditation to the highest consciousness and call the pure presence to this space. I invoke and I call the pure life force energy to flow with ease and grace through each of us. And may consciousness and energy unite in the name of healing and transformation. And I'd like you to make an intention to call and invite your guides And your guides are going to assist in this meditation and assist in allowing the inner light to more strongly flow through you at this time. So I'd like you to continue to notice the space around your breath. You already are in an outside space, having been watching the river. And I'd like you to notice the blue, blue sky all around you. You can even move your focus and intention up to the sky. And it doesn't matter if visualization is not something you do easily, because having the intention to be with the blue sky and feeling it and seeing it around you is enough. The intention is everything. So whether you intend it or you really see it, both are fine. And even as you're in this blue sky, which is a bright blue energy, a light blue light, and a light blue energy, you might feel that there's a certain heaviness of emotional content. You might. And whatever feeling, it could be heavy, it could be lighter, but whatever it is, that feeling that's in front is to feel that blue energy, the blue sky all around. This is where we make the connection to the inner light. The inner light consciousness can be seen and depicted as a light blue, light energy. It is an energy of healing, and it is an energy of lightness. And in that, we can allow that emotion or thought or sensation to just be there without any judgment on it, without any change in it, and allow it to do whatever dissolving or transmutation that is available at this time. And as you breathe in and out, notice that light blue energy. It's very bright blue light, like a blue, blue sky, like a perfectly blue sky. And if you'd like, you can also visualize that you're like a white bird flying in the blue sky. Visualize being a white bird flying in the blue sky, or intend it. This symbolizes freedom, openness, and connection with the light. And just another moment of being immersed in a bright blue, brilliant light, like a clear blue sky. Know that this is the connection to your higher self, to that higher awareness, and that it can be permanent. And when you're ready, you can slowly come out of this meditation. Open your eyes whenever you're ready. doing this meditation can be very energetic for some people who feel energies. Other people might just feel a sense of calm. And it depends how we're wired as to how this kind of thing feels. And if anybody has an interest in doing more of these meditations, the New Humanity Divine Marga website, it's just called divinemarga.com. And if you go there, there's some videos on this inner light you can purchase, but if you go onto the YouTube channel, there's much you can do for free. You don't ever have to purchase anything, and you can find some of these meditations and to kind of help strengthen this inner light awakening. And I ask that everybody just maybe make an intention to, no matter what's going on in our lives and what we feel in the outer environment, to keep that tool of divine neutrality at the forefront, and knowing that we could be anywhere. We could even be in the grocery store waiting in line, and we can practice divine neutrality. We can kind of stop everything and step back and be that watcher and just watch, how we're reacting, how we're feeling, what's going on with us, as this again strengthens that inner light. God is looking for that kind of spaciousness and openness to come in. And so I wish everybody well on your spiritual evolution. Blessings, and thank you so much for having me today. And thank you, David, as well.
I had the opportunity to listen to when we had Michelle here. Hello? I had the opportunity to listen to, is it any better? Okay. It was in October, October 1st of 2024, and to go through her meditation then. In coming up with music for today, in the spirit of switching up, we normally have a song that comes before the meditation, but that's not what we did today. And then we have a song that comes after the lesson. So I was trying to figure out, how do I make this work? And also fit it in with the subject matter, the divine neutrality, and also rising in consciousness to the fifth dimension. So I came across a song. It's called Pour Yourself in Me. The lyrics will be up on the screen. It would be nice if you all could join in, which is also a switching up. And what I saw in this song is that it has the ingredients that we need for ourselves to rise to that higher dimension. So if you would like to join in, these are the ingredients for you. Pour yourself in me. Okay. Pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit. Pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Spirit, pour your joy in me. Pour your joy into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, pour your love in me. Pour your love into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, pour your song in me. Pour your song into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, pour your light in me. Pour your light into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, dance and smile in me. Dance and smile into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit. Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda. Thank you, Eddie. How about giving Eddie a little appreciation? Yeah. Boy, he stepped right in here the last, I don't know, probably 6, 7, 8 months, and you have been a real blessing, a real blessing. Thank you so much for your love together with us. Wow, God is looking for the gaps. What a wonderful phrase to take away, right? What a wonderful reminder. Have you noticed that as you continue in your journey, you begin to realize the significance of that and showing up that way? You know, that if someone can be the stillness in the room, you know, more and more can get through. So thank you, Michelle. I don't know if you're still listening or not. That was wonderful, wonderful. So we can have the ushers come forward at this time. 4 of them, stillness in the room. So if you just take those love offerings into your hand that we so appreciate, all the ways that you bless us together, divine love through us blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Freely I give, and freely I receive.
Yes. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need.
You know, one time we were having a session here on a Wednesday night, and we were taking up the offering, you know, divine love through us blesses and multiplies. And I had another version so in my mind from before coming here, and I couldn't get it together. And so when we got all done, Donna said to me, please report to the principal's office after class. It's then I knew I better get with it, right? So, in the joy of being a part of a beautiful community, we just give thanks for all the ways that you bless us here at Renaissance Unity. In the name and through the power of the living Christ we pray. Amen?
Amen.
Amen. Thank you. So, knowing I don't have to go to the principal's office this morning, but I do have to get the announcements. Thank you. So we have a few announcements. Again, if you'd like prayer support, Kim Klein is our chaplain today, and she would gladly meet with you and our chapel following the service and just affirm the truth of your being, the truth of if you're coming for prayer for another, just affirm the truth of their being. And we really share here at Renaissance Unity that prayer is enough, that it's the consciousness that we hold that holds the power. So if you'd like to be a part of that and bless your life or blessing others, we invite you to join Kim after service. The Building and Aging Community Workshop scheduled for today will begin today at 11:50 in the sanctuary. We ask you not eat until after chair yoga. This program will last an hour, and then I need that right there. No, this here. I may end up having to go to the principal's office. So Elaine has showed me that there's this free booklet that will be available. It's called Creating Community as We Age. And she also said for those attending, there's going to be an entry for a $25 gift card drawing, so be sure to join. The Footloose fundraiser to cover costs for the April Youth Retreat in Wisconsin continues throughout Sundays in March. I've heard great things about those who have joined you, Carol. So let Carol Murphy make your feet happy with a foot massage at a rate of $1 per minute. What a deal. Funds donated would go to the cost of transportation and lodging for the youth. Our Women's Unity Tea would like to welcome one or two more teammates. If you enjoy supporting women to support each other, that's what they do. So please contact Judy right there. Thank you, Judy, for just your just continuing that ministry. And I hear so many things when people show up there, how they're being blessed. So thank you. And thank you for this ministry as well. Beautiful. Deborah Mouton, she had an announcement, and she told me all about it, but I think that she would do a great job if we just called her forward and she made the announcement. Come on up here, Deborah. We're going to see how you do with the impromptu, all right? There's another woman who has a love for her ministry. Tell us about it.
I just feel like if we're not doing some service in our community, that we're pretty much a club that meets on Sundays at 10:30. So participation and volunteering is important to me. I hope it's sort of important to you. We volunteer with the food bank every other month on the second Wednesday of the month from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. And it's always that. This time, our volunteering will be the 9th of April from 1 to 3. And right now, we promised to bring 10 volunteers. And right now, we have 4. So look at your calendar and see if it works out for you. Thanks.
There's sign-up sheets out in the hallway, Vivian is telling us. So we have Joshua Nacho, who's coming back with us to be with us again. And, you know, he always comes and blesses us. Is truly an awake human being. So that's March 17th. And he'll be providing one-on-one appointments also for 30 minutes or an hour increments at 3 and 4 p.m. Joshua's evening presentation, The Bridge of Light, begins at 6:30 and is designed to help you connect deeply with your inner light, again, working with that as we did this morning. Empower you with tools to access any time in your daily life. Sign-up sheets are also in the fellowship hall. Or you can contact Vivian at 216-293-1158. So, March 17th, Joshua Nacho. If you're a Renaissance Unity member and you haven't yet filled out an orange membership renewal card, please take a minute to complete it after service today. It's important that we get everybody signed up again. Cards are in the basket on the table to your right as you enter the social hall. And one last reminder, our annual membership meeting will be held on Sunday, March 23rd, following the service at noon. One important piece of business will be the election of 2 board members to replace Beverly Abbott and Deborah Mouton. Let's give them some love for their service. They'll complete their terms in March, and then the nominating committee has presented 2 well-qualified candidates, Carol Murphy and Rose Leininger. So you'll see an email. Yeah, let's go ahead and give them some love in advance. You'll see an email sharing their bios was sent to all members yesterday morning, and copies are also posted on the bulletin board if you'd like to learn more about them before our meeting. So let's just have everybody, it says, and just one last announcement, it says on here. If today's service or any service, yeah, for sure, if today's service or any service is a blessing to you, we're going to continue to just work social media and get our name out there, right? And so if this has been a blessing for you, we're just encouraging each week now to do posts on social media to get our name out. All right, so together let's just stand and sing our peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And so now let's affirm what we know is the truth. Together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thank you so much for being here today. Amen.
God, you are every mountain. God, you are every ocean. God, you are every canyon, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every morning. God, you are every midnight. God, you are every moment, every second of my life. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. God, you are every sunrise. God, you are every moon glow. God, you are every star shine, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are. Every springtime, God, you are. Every snowfall, God, you are. Every season, every second of my life. Everything you busy, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. 'Cause you are the very breath I breathe. And your perfect love created me. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I know is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Playing later? When you did last Sunday, somebody posted pictures of that. It was pretty fun.